So I imagine from going from a business that has offices in each country to virtual, the level of detail and process and procedures amongst all of those companies for a company to then go virtual must have been quite an undertaking. How did you implement that, and were you involved?
Yeah, I was definitely involved. There's a kind of dichotomy here in the sense that I am not a detailed person, and yet, what am I fanatical about? I would say I'm really fanatical about, if you like, the look, the sort of the output, the end product. So especially if you can imagine, we get a recruitment project for to recruit key account managers in 12 different European countries. It's essential, right? We might be speaking individually, so single colleagues will be speaking individually with local hiring managers, but it's essential that the level of service and the output, the way that it looks, is identical, completely uniform, especially to the person in the center who's actually overseeing the thing from the client side. So, detail person, I'm not so much the detail person, but actually that I'm completely fanatical about. And so I'm still in there checking out, do we put the euro sign before the actual salary or do we put it afterwards? I'm at that level of detail still checking because I just don't think I can afford to let that one go. How did we do it? It was just, it was iterative. It was over several years. And it was, it's just absolutely fundamental. If you've got colleagues who are also based remotely, and you've got clients, some of whom you've never met face to face, you can't just rely on kind of understanding each other. You have to be highly, highly engineered as a company, and so kind of manage this thing through a series of a real structure that manages. It's not just a question of writing down the job spec, but it's actually understanding or clarifying the understanding of each individual word in that job description. What does team spirit mean, to you? And sort of understanding exactly what it is, because of course you client talking to me and sort of assuming that I understand that. Let's make sure that we do, because frankly, then I'll be talking to my project manager who's going to be overseeing that search. And he or she needs to understand me, and they're going to be speaking to the researcher in each of the different countries, and they all need to understand that, right? So, there's no room for kind of misunderstanding.
Okay, because I'm just thinking about it from a logistical point of view when it comes to documentation, because you've got multiple people working in different languages in different countries. You must almost need to produce different procedures in different languages for everything.
We do use English as the standard for our output normally, actually. So the report will be written in English, and so in terms of our process or our internal training, it's all delivered in English. So yeah, that's a really interesting point, Dan, because I've got to, because I do and I like to respect cultural differences, but there has to come a point where it's like, I know we do things differently in Hungary. I know you do that, but there are certain things that we'll have to do identically. That's a word. So I have to draw the line. There is a line somewhere between I respect your cultural difference. Now I'm going to say we're a multinational, so you can't, and that's enough.